live. Going live? We are live! Hey! Welcome to the studio, y'all. Welcome to, I would say King, Texas, but not King, Texas. It's Cleburne, Texas. It's next door neighbor. And this is the studio. This is my studio. I'm Nicholas Barnett. Nice to meet you. You may recognize my name from the channel. And today is pretty simple. I'm kind of tired of dealing with the normal format, so I'm going to jump straight into what we're doing, and we're going to get doing it because I'm excited to do it. We didn't do it last week, and so I'm in the mood to go. Hey, Mom, welcome. Carol Lee, also welcome. I'm glad you guys are here. So we, in terms of things that have changed, not much. There's a few things that have been stacked up to make it easier to get around in here. We've actually got a lot of room. So wait a second. For those of you who didn't realize it, last week we did a video where I basically just worked on the studio. I just moved things around, reorganizing, cleaning up some things. And so there were a bunch of things that changed during the video last week. One of which is, look at all this space I have. Oh, and it's dirty, but you know. And look at all this space I have. I took the Christmas tree out, took a lot of other stuff out. We've started, putting things away too. And yeah. So, this is what the studio is like right now. It's pretty simple. Tractor V, yeah. Welcome. I don't know who you are, but I'm glad you're here. Anyway, so this is what we're doing today. Pretty stoked about it. And we're going to jump right into it. Most of our work, I got the shim made for sliding into here. I made that myself. Don't ask me what kind of wood it is, because it's not the right kind that you're supposed to use. But that's okay. We will be okay. We have trusty Kukri back from its journey. Not to Michigan. It did not fly to Michigan. But I did take it to Pathfinder Camporee. So it was in the backpack. I didn't get a chance to use it. Didn't do any bushcraft of any kind at the Camporee, which is, that's usually what I hope to do when I'm camping. But often when I go camping, I end up doing other stuff, whether it's reading a book or whatever it is. So I just find myself thinking of a million other things to do and doing them. So let me help you understand what we're going to do today. I'm not planning on actually hanging it today, but we will be getting a lot of this cleaned up and smooth. That's my plan for today. So that's the deal. That's the deal, folks. We're gonna get this thing smooth, and the thing I'm gonna mostly use is gonna be that Kukri. So I know, huge surprise. None of you saw that coming, but the reality is, since we've been doing this series, I haven't gotten more than like 30 something or 50 views on any of these videos. But on one of them recently that had a thumbnail that looked just like this or something like that, I got 100 views, double what the other ones were. So I suspect that the Kukri, as much as it's not the best tool for this, probably, is the most interesting. And the reality is, I like using it, and I want to use it more. So it's what we're going to use. And the reality is, I also don't have most of the proper tools for this kind of work. So we'll use what I got. And this is what I got. So I'm glad you guys are all here. I don't want to say I missed you last week because I know you guys are still here, but I wasn't necessarily in the mood to be here. So it feels like we didn't get together last week, and so it feels good to be getting together again this week. So I don't know if you guys ever have off weeks like that, but I do. So sometimes you just need to slow down. Although to be fair, this is an example of me slowing down. Like this is ideally, in an ideal world, this is how I would slow down. It's by just making things with my hands. At the end of a long, hard day of work, just come home and make something with my hands. Sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. You know what I might put in the description this week? I'll put a link to, if you guys are enjoying any of this woodworking, but you'd like to have like some actual high quality stuff. I happen to have a relatively recently acquired brother via marriage who makes really high quality wood goods, furniture and stuff. So I'll put his information down below. I think it's, oh no, I don't remember the name of it. I want to say it's like Country Woodworking. No, it's not Country Woodworking. Oh man, I'll have to look it up. I'll have it in front of me next time in my notes, so I can tell you all. But I didn't think about it until now. So, but yeah, I'll let you guys check out his stuff. He's most of his marketing happens on Instagram at this stage. He's just starting out, but got some really cool stuff he's already made. Made a few things for us. So. Maybe I'll even get the guts up to invite him to come watch this. What do you guys think of the idea? I was thinking about it of when I finish the project, making like a recap video that like is edited and goes through like it'd be like the whole process that you've seen, except narrowed down to like 5 minutes or less. Wouldn't necessarily, I mean, sometimes it might be a time lapse, but like, so I could do some time lapses, I guess, because during segments like this one where it basically stays in the same place. Yeah, kind of fast forward maybe for some of it, but most of it would be edited together and just a couple of the funny things I say and stuff. I don't know, just an idea. I might do that as a video at some point. I feel like it'd be more satisfying to see me do this if you could like see the whole process from beginning to end of the video, you know. So I know I personally enjoy those kind of videos. So. It'd be funny too because I can splice in some of the funnier or weirder conversations we've had. That conversation about the venomous sharks and man-eating kangaroos. Mom says yes. How often do you have to sharpen that knife? This knife is specifically designed to never need to be sharpened. It's pretty much bomb-proof. I have never needed to sharpen it. It came out of the box stupendously razor sharp and has maintained that razor sharpness ever since. However, because I use it for a fair bit of woodworking and less chopping and pry barring than it was designed for, a lot less smashing involved in the work I use it for because I use it for a lot of fine tasks. I do sharpen it periodically because I want to get this part of it where I'm doing a lot of this draw work knife or a lot of the draw working. Corbin loves those interesting random facts. So where I'm doing a lot of this woodworking along this edge, I want to get that edge finer. So even though I don't need to sharpen it, it's plenty fine enough to do all of the tasks that you would normally do with a kukri. But just because I do this kind of stuff, I'd like to get this edge, get the geometry more acute. So, and at some point, I would like to learn how to use this for skinning and hunting. And when I start doing that, there's a reasonable chance I will want to then do the same thing to the tip, or at least that's what I've heard from people that use kukris extensively. Because the reality is, in Nepal, kukris are used as like a person's only tool. Like this is their one primary possession, and they can live just off of this one type of knife. So that one type of knife needs to be able to do everything. So I'd like to be the kind of survivalist that gets to that level where it's like, yeah, I have enough skills and I know enough skills that I could survive with just this knife. And I would love to go on to shows like Naked and Afraid or Alone. However, I would not like to actually be alone from Erica for any length of time at all. So the only way they would ever convince me to do something like that seriously would be if Erica wanted to do it with me. So, and since although she enjoys camping and she enjoys a lot of outdoor stuff and outdoor things, I don't think she enjoys the like hardcore survival stuff the way I would, or the way I do. So, so I highly doubt that if they did a couples alone season or a couples Naked and Afraid season, I doubt that I would be able to convince Pastor Erica to join me. No, I did not mean to do that. And at one point, I had kind of learned how to do just about anything you can do with a knife, with an axe. At one point, my is it less shroud axe by Wetterlings. I pretty much use that tool, that axe, for basically everything. And eventually, I came to the idea that I would like to build up the same level of trusting relationship that I have with that axe with this knife. And so that's when I started kind of using this for just about any project I could think of. So. In case you are curious, what did you do wrong? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong for what? What do you mean? I also don't know what I've done wrong. I'm sure I did something, but are you talking about this project, or are you talking about making it afraid or alone, or what I don't know. The point is, I do not know what I did wrong. You said you didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do what? Oh, so here, I'll show you up close. So what I'm trying to do is take off this shelf, but as I do that, inevitably, sometimes I pull back too far and I end up nicking it back here and making little tiny cuts. Well, I don't actually want to do that. I want this to stay the same size that it is. This is the right size right now in that section. It's only this part that I'm trying to thin, and I cut a chunk out of the area up here, which is not what I'm trying to do. So, yeah, that's what it was. So, but this is looking pretty good. Let's see how far we can get this bad boy on there. Where'd I put it? Oh, there it is. It's literally sitting right in front of me. That's pretty close. See, what I want is for this top part to stick just above, and then I'll cut it off. That's the plan. So I think we're almost at that point. But first, I think we're gonna mark the spot, and keep bringing it down because we're a little bit narrower than I'd like to be on the sides here, on these sides, but we are still a little bit too wide on the front and back. So I'm going to mark it with a pen or pencil. I mean pencil. Pencil would definitely be the best option. But I don't see a pencil. I think I'm going to have to step out for a moment. Fear not, friends. I will return very soon. Sure enough. There I am. Okay. So what I'm doing is that I'm going to mark on this where this part goes on the front and on the back. Basically, I'm marking where I need to take more material off. Although, actually, it would look better if I turned it around. Let's take it out first. And then turn it around. Okay. All right, let's do it this way. Okay, mark that section. Well, maybe we don't have to take off any on the front, just the back. Now let's see how straight that looks. Does that look pretty straight? It looks pretty straight to me. It only looks crooked in the way that I want it to be crooked, so that is basically what I'm looking for, right? In theory. Okay. We're going to take a touch off. So, yeah. I'm going to make it more visible for you guys. I'm going to remove, there you go, that little chunk of material right there that I marked with the pencil. That's what's going next. So, I don't know if any of you have listened to the podcast that me and Daniel have started together, Enough Brothers, but if you have, then you know that we have not posted publicly our second episode, only our first episode. So, admittedly, the podcast is getting a little bit of a rocky start, but if I'm being honest with you, artistic endeavors that don't have a rocky start usually don't do well. Like, I don't know. All of my most successful endeavors, artistically speaking, had a rocky start. So, I do not expect it. I do not expect things that are as lovely as a podcast with Daniel to have an easy start. So, and that is exactly the case. We have recorded our second episode, but it hasn't gotten to the point where it's ready to go public. So, however, I talked to him this week, and I found out that the second episode will be going live hopefully soon. So, it sounds like he's been having a heck of a hard time in school. And by hard time, I don't mean like he's not doing well. I mean like there's just a lot going on. And he has not had much in terms of spare time for his own projects. And so a lot of his own projects, like for instance, his podcast with me, have kind of gone by the wayside. Which is fine. That happens. I think we all understand that, at least to some degree. And he said this Friday he'll have enough time to upload that one. And maybe, if we're lucky, we might even have enough time to record a third episode, so that would be nice. Oh no. Hey Lori, if you're out there, tap on chat to write and then tap next to arrow and start writing. Hey. Oh yeah, Lori says she's been on here a few times, but has not successfully figured out how to get into the chat. So that's true. Hopefully she finds success in that endeavor soon. We would love to have Lori part of the conversation. Or at least I would. I mean, I don't know. I assume everybody else would too. We're a pretty open group, I'd say, if I was saying that. Okay. That side fits nice and snug now. Just about perfect. But now the other side's tight. And that's kind of how it goes. As you're putting these in, you're trimming off a little bit of one side, then a little bit of the other side. You're just figuring out where it needs to be trimmed. And at this stage, we're going super gentle. I mean, I'm barely taking off. I'm taking off like super small flakes at this stage. At this stage, it's all about gentleness. We're moving very small amounts of material at this point. And I'm going to mark that this is the front. Oh, I'm going to do it down here. This is the front. That's the sound of Erica going to board meeting. Laurie Bishop, hey there! Welcome, welcome, welcome! I'm so glad you made it. We'll set her up with a YouTube channel so she can chat. Oh, praise God. If he's working on his doctorate, then I guess he'll give Daniel some slack. Oh, yeah, Daniel. Yeah, Daniel's working on his doctorate, I think, if I remember right. And his further schooling, which is crazy. I mean, it's amazing to me that he's continuing to do that. It's so cool. But also, obviously, a lot of work. So, but it's gonna pay off big time because he's such a talented fella. Got a lot of skill, smart. I'm looking forward to whatever he does, basically. If I'm being honest. I mean, to be fair, I feel that way about all my brothers. I'm pretty much just always looking forward to whatever they're doing, whatever they're up to. I'm a very proud older brother. I have nothing to be ashamed of. My brothers have turned out really great. They turned out real stand-up dudes. I'm really surprised that after all this time, and as amazing as my brothers are, I still ended up being the first one to get married somehow. That seems surprising to me because they're all such high quality guys. Yeah, the premise of that show is that there's 4 of us brothers, but only 2 of us that are in the podcast. So it'll just have to be enough. This is all there is. It's enough brothers. So that was the idea. We suspect that the other 2 brothers will probably never join us on the podcast, because the reality is they're much more normal people that are not looking to be in the limelight. He's a musician and performer. Yeah, he's a musician, performer, teacher. Yeah, he songwriter. Um, does basically a million different things. That's why they call him the One Damn Band. So I don't remember. I think there's a story to how he picked up that nickname, but I haven't asked him about it yet. Maybe I'll ask him about that sometime on the podcast. But maybe that's what the next episode will be about. Me asking him how he got the name One Damn Band. Asking him about that story. But yeah, he plays a whole slew of different instruments. He's an amazing vocalist, awesome songwriter, and really fun performer. Like when I've gone to see him live, he's always been really enjoyable, and really satisfying. So. Yep. Oh, Mom says her sound isn't working. That's no good. I'm sorry. That seems like it barely made a difference at all. Oh, there we go. So they haven't quite lined up. You can see we are now all the way through. Ha 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 ha. There's the mark of what we're taking off now. You can see how where the mark is changing as we go. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but the last one we took off is right here. This one we're taking off is right here. Little bits at a time at this point. We're just making tiny modifications until it's snug as a bug. Super snug. I do think, I can be honest with my own work. I'm an artist. I have to be critical of my own work. I think that our first episode of That's Enough Brothers is definitely better than our second. Our second one gets a little awkward, and it's like that. That's the way it is anytime you're talking to anybody. But it's kind of funny in the second one. Because the reality is when he's like we said, he's working on his doctorate. So his brain is like just fully immersed in music and music theory and like all this stuff about that kind of stuff. His whole life, is right now revolves around this music, and so it's just a lot, And I don't know anything about music theory or any of the music he's talking about, so it just. I don't know if he felt that way, but I felt like I was wading into water that I couldn't tell how deep it was, And fair enough. I mean, his brain is super deep with music stuff right now. I mean, he's got a lot going on. It's that. All that jazz. She says it looks good. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. What can you see what I'm doing here? Get you a little bit closer to the action. Oh my God. Hey, Mom says much better angle to see how the knife is used. Yeah, I didn't think of that until now. But yeah, I hope so. That's the idea anyway. That's why I moved it over there. We're really nice and snug on the one side, but over here we've still got a few gaps. So let me take off more material here so this side will snug up, and get closer up to, into this. So we're fairly close. I mean, it'd be a little bit difficult to saw off that much material. You see this snub. So I do need it to go a little bit further, but not much. It doesn't need to go very much further. So we are getting close. And I know if there's any axe snobs or any of the hardcore tool hanging enthusiasts that see this video, they're gonna be like, "That's a terrible job. You did terrible." Well, fair enough, fair enough. But I'm just doing it with a machete, so you know. And also, yeah, that's true. I'm not all that good at this. But I just need to be good enough. And I don't even really need to be good enough. I just need. Well, that's not true. I do need. It does need to be good enough. Otherwise, it won't work. It's starting to snug up further. That's good. That's what we're trying to do. With every round, we're getting closer. I think you are doing an awesome job. Thank you. Absolutely. The problem is that I can compare myself to uh, when I'm comparing this work, because you're right, this is going very well. But I when I compare myself in my own head, I compare myself not only to other people that I've seen do similar projects on YouTube or even in real life, uh, but I also compare myself to myself and how good I've done on previous projects and stuff like that, and it makes me think, uh, you know, I could do better. I should do better. And although comparing ourselves to other people is often not very healthy, it can be healthy for learning things. Like you can't reasonably learn anything if you're not willing to compare yourself uh, to your teacher, right? And to the knowledge they have and the knowledge you would like to gain from them. And you can't, and not only that, but like you also can't really change yourself. Like you end up very stagnant if you're not able to critically analyze yourself in a gentle and kind, compassionate way. Like obviously not being critical and unhealthy to yourself. That's obviously not good. But critical enough to be able to see what your problems are and not to be blind to your problems and your mistakes and your moral insufficiencies, or in this case, obviously I'm talking about my moral insufficiencies, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So comparing myself to myself and my past self and my past projects is kind of an important part of learning and improving and changing who I am. So, so thank you for the compliment is what I meant to say. Um, Sometimes I get hung up. One of the things that's interesting, and you can't really see it from your angle, is although it's snugged up, it has snugged up now all along the bottom, all along this side, but now this side is like completely not snugged up. Not at all. So it does still need to definitely keep going on here in order to snug up all four sides. So
Take care, Ma. Mom says she's heading out. I'm going to cut myself if I'm not careful doing that. Saw that where I slid my thumb right under the knife like that. So, probably shouldn't do that. Do I know which day we will meet next week? Oh, I should think about these things beforehand. I think I'm available next Tuesday again still. So probably plan on Tuesday at 6. Yeah. If it's not Tuesday at 6, uh, I'll say something on my YouTube channel. So if you have your notifications on, you'll see it. Or at least I'm pretty sure there's a way to make a post or whatever on the YouTube. That'll like make an announcement. Probably should have been making those kind of announcements this whole time for all these videos, but you know how I am. I'm having so much fun. I don't even want to stop. But we're right around an hour long, which is the amount of time I usually spend doing this. So there are some other things to talk about real quick. Chiefly, or I shouldn't say chiefly. One of them is the podcast. Check out the podcast. That's Enough Brothers. It has 1 episode. I think by the end of this week, it will have 2 episodes, and hopefully a 3rd one recorded and in the works. And also, I am not doing a good job of holding myself accountable to working on the book regularly. I haven't been. I'm barely able to keep up with daily, around the house type chores. and the job, and so I've been. So yeah, there's that. And let's see here. So definitely like this video, everybody. I see all 3 of you, so I better see 3 likes. But yeah, like this video, share this video, and enjoy. Next week we'll aim for the same time next week, Tuesday at 6:06 my time, Texas time, and we will we'll see you then. Oh, I have something else I want to tell you, but I shouldn't. I should see. I've got another project in the wings, but I shouldn't tell you about it until I know what's going to happen. I have 3 different YouTube channels, and 2 of them have been dormant while this one has begun to restart. And somebody has approached me about helping me reboot one of the other YouTube channels. So we will have to talk about that again later. If you're one of my patrons, reach out to me, and we can. I'm looking for advice. We'll be talking. So that's exciting. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. I love y'all. Love you and Steve. I'm thankful for you. I'm glad you came today. It's been fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching a little bit of success, watching it kind of grow. And there it is. There's the tool and its handiwork right there. So we're getting it done, a little bit at a time. Do it. Which way would be it? I don't know how to. I don't know how to YouTube. What's the best way to do this? I have the faintest idea. Anyway, y'all, have fun. Love. Let's see you. Hit that bell. Stay well, and I'll see you Tuesday at 6:06.